know, for this weekend at Basbos from the north, they just a para for internet, for radio stations, for television houses. Say this tax reform bill, where President Tinubu they rush like this one person, they don't like him. Who do man? Now they against and see so Zulum don't put a voice now. Okay? And many nota bloggers. Now, make I explain. Before I explain that, make you listen to Udume.
The bill passed through second reading. I was against it. It's on record. And I said there during the session, I think it was open, that it should be noted that it's not that I'm totally saying that we should throw away the baby with the bathwater. But since the governors, who are our leaders, the National Economic Council, and many individuals have said that it's not that we should throw away the bill. No. We'll draw the bill, do more consultations, and then bring the bill again. Chairman, allow me to talk. Why are they in a hurry? The governors must have looked at the bill, even if they didn't. The National Executive Council made over 36 governors. And the traditional rulers. Please pay attention to this. If they say this thing is not good, even by our culture.
Now listen to Zulum.
Arewa, but Arewa Kadebama, Southeast, so that's some problem. The Southwest, the harder so Oyo, so Ocean, so Ikiti on the Duva problem.
When I get into a camera, Riba Chikaway Legas.
So that's about Akamaka Muhata. So Kumasana Gavana, which one of the cow, Komaba and Logos. The Momoka, Diakane, Bama so Logos, Yakamata, Aber, Yadamukians, one number, Badawani, one when Abune, one the Mu Agamucho and Zekash Alionabada. Those about Aka, Munkila Koa, that you can Casabana to Yakamata is under one up. Those about Arewa.
What we see what Zulum just talk before I explain anything. Zulum talk say, why the rush? Why not they rush this bill? It also say there is a petroleum bill that was presented, but it took almost 20 years before it was finally passed. Why una no delay? For the petroleum bill, they use snail waka, as if na snail they waka before they pass am. Waiting I take for this one, it's like Zulum, he worked a delay so that if another president call enter, they fit kill him. Or if another certain governor call come again, say that one no fit get liver like this. President Tinubu, because this our president is stubborn. Now what you want to do, now you want to do. That's why they talk say why the rush. How I know this do a slow motion. Now so my analytical mind they tell you, make we continue. It talk say, but this one was transmitted and now receiving legislative attention within a week. It can say these bills will drag the north backward and also affect southeast, southwest, and some southwestern states like Oyo. I go explain all this one to you, okay? It does say hunger and poverty, and this could heighten insecurity that is in the north. It got to say the reforms will stifle growth and pull the north deeper into economic challenges. Say this one, what they do so, it will make the north poor. It does say the north, which relies heavily on agriculture, will suffer the most under this reform. I will put question mark here. We'll explain now, okay? It does say these policies will increase insecurity by fueling hunger and poverty among our people. It secures 60% of its vote in the north, and this should not be ignored. It's like we will vote for you. Why we say because they punish us? We will throw light on this one. It also say the north lacks the industrial base to withstand these reforms compared to other regions. We need equitable reform, not policies that we disproportionately hurt our people. What we need now is the withdrawal of the tax bill. Now, make I tell you what they go on, what they want to do, where they make them they angry. Currently, now this one will they practice. Let us show you first. Say this one, might be village head. We'll call him FG. Might be federal government. Is the village head. This village head, it gets many small quarters for the village. Those quarters, they are 36. Plus where is the street for this headquarter? Altogether, they be 37. Okay, there are many, so we'll use this cycle represent all the states. So all these states, every month when they make money, the revenue where they get, they go send and go Abuja because they don't agree. Say they get this agency, what do they call FRRS, Federal Inland Revenue Services. They thought say now they go help they collect revenues on behalf of the government. They go help the government collect the revenue. After they don't collect and finish, they'll call share them. Okay? We could see at the share now. After they don't collect, say at the end of this month, for instance, say they collect 100 billion. How did they share them? They say out of the 100 billion, federal government will collect 50%. That is, they will come out 50 billion, give federal government, FG. What did they use this money do? They will not pay police, soldiers, buy ammunition, do road, and many other things to run the government. Okay? Out of the 100 billion, they'll come out 50%. That 50% of 100 billion, how much? Now 50 billion. Because if you divide 100 by 2, you get 50. That is 50%. That one, they go reserve for the 36 states plus FCT. Okay? For instance, the remaining 35%, they go reserve for, that is 35 billion. They go reserve for local governments. Okay. Remember, FG now one no be two. That means all the 50 billion now, and they get them. They don't go share with anybody. Go come out. That one no be problem. We understand that one, okay? The next one now, be this one, we say 90 for state. This is the way we say the share now. This 50 billion where be for state, they go divide them into two. That is 50% of it, they go take out for equality. Okay. Let's put this one here. 50 billion where be for state, 25 billion. 90 this one. That is the 50% for equality. They go take 50 billion, which is 30%. That one for population. Then 10 billion, which is 20% is for derivation. What it be equality? What it be population? What it be derivation? Make I tell you. So this 25 billion now will be for equality. They go say 25 billion divided by 37. Equally, they go say equality. Whether you bring 1 naira, go give the village head, you bring 2 naira, you bring 100 naira, you bring 500 naira, we just put them there. Whether now big Kubana put the money there, poor man for village put it on, Dangote put it on. When they wash around, that one when they give equality, so they don't care to know how much you bring on for the post. We share them equally. Okay? That one, I believe you understand that. Any amount when reach your hand, now be your own. As you can see, they don't share this one finish. Abi? Okay. The next one, now be 15 billion. That one for population. What is the population? This one, they don't go share them equally. This 50 billion. Whether when you contribute money, now only 2 people did that state, and you bring plenty money for the federal government purse. No care. For this population owner, now people plenty for the state. Whether you be 1,000 for your state, but your state bring only 2 naira. But another state where we say they be 2 people, they bring 100 naira. They not go use that one and share the money. Now, as now plenty, they go share that one. If you plenty, now go get plenty. If now small for this 50 billion, now go get small. Whether your papa and your pikin what we say, maybe 2 of you now they that state. Now state now be Goro state. And now only 2 of you be survivor. You are your papa. Now get the farm. That farm, now contribute to federal government as a state. Say 2 billion. For this one, they don't want work. Because they don't say at the end of the day, they go see chop. These people so for here, now they go collect pass to what we say you be 2 people. That one are for population. And don't calculate that one now because you know say we plenty. Okay? Now, this 10 billion, where it remains, so they will see share among the state. Now, be as you contribute. Say, for instance, your state will be 2 people that time. Abi? This one are 1,000. Okay? This 1,000, they bring 2 naira that time, Abi? Now bring 100 naira. Now, go share pass from this 100 billion. This one, they don't go share like that. You see, as it be? Now, so they run now. So, President Tinubu concept up panel say, this one, what can I review? What can I do and the way it should be for fiscal responsibility for whatever. The one with the company come now, for you to understand that, we need to compare. We need to compare. Now, federal government come to say, if they bring money now, everybody contribute as they contribute before. Federal government will collect 50% again because nobody will share with them. Anything they give them, only they get them. Because of that, they will go reduce now to 10%. Federal government. So from that 100 billion, instead for you to get 15 billion, you will get 10 billion. The remaining 90 now for state and local government. Okay? The 5% when they come up from federal government, they can't give back to state. Their own account be 55. Before 50 billion. Now, state we can't get extra 5 billion using the 100 billion for the example what they give for this class. Okay? Now, the local government own still remain the same. After they pass the bill, say at the end of a certain month, say January 2025, they can still bring 100 billion. It means say federal government will collect 10 billion. Okay? Then state will collect 55 billion. From this 55 billion, how na go share am? Every problem where we say the northern governors and leaders they don't like. What did they talk? We say, see, before now, equality, they will divide it into 2. This reform says nothing like that. What will be equality? No equality. Equality now 20%. 20%. Not 50%. So they'll come out 20% from here. That's more 20%. They will divide that by 37. Share am. Okay? They'll come out 20% again for population. Before, population are 30%. 20% now. They go come on that 20%. If not plenty, no go share for. No say if the money small like this and your population plenty, if they share nothing small go enter your hand now. You get it now, okay? Now for derivation, now 60% before now 20%. If you want to read out this information and go to thecable.ng, thecable.ng, you go see. I am not tax advisor. Now wait till I read. I just try to explain, okay? You can go and read by yourself. If you still say this is what I explain, you understand them, okay? Now, it means this will be now. Now, if you bring money, that's what you go get to. That one they wait for population and equality. When they make you the stay for one place, no one work. You know go there again. Go and work, bring money, then you can share plenty. All this other one, no dig again. Now, we see. Waiting be the target of this reform. It means a state because they manage more revenue because they don't give them extra 5%. It means that one problem there your state. Don't they carry microphone, they say, federal government, oh, one another help us, oh. Call your governor because they give them plenty money. It will encourage states to boost local economies. It means say, you want to make your citizens for your state, they sleep, they lazy, they know they work. You go push them, make they go farm, go work. Make they go into agriculture. So that you go get plenty money, give federal, you come collect plenty revenue. That one when we say, you know, say if you work, you chop. If you don't work, you chop. You know go day again. Now be this new bill, okay? Reduce reliance on federal allocations. The same thing. According to last time during the election, one of the presidential candidates say, not get plenty land. Let me say, now for production. Now it is time for you people to cultivate this. You don't say you get 1,000 people for your state, Abi? You can't say this one gets 10 people for a state. This one is the adjourn now because of population as per the allocation. No. Let this 1,000 people, when they take the Buddha, then they go farm, go work, so that you go get plenty money. Not the way for these 10 people to bring money. All those goats, when they say when they allow people, they take by themselves, the siphon, bandit, the collector, all the natural resources where they not, when they just overlook. This time, this 1,000 people, this is still 20 million people you get for your state, make them productive. Now this be won't do so, okay? Accountability for spending. You when they say you they work, they pay tax for your state. You see say your state governor, they squander the money, you go call them to order. Also, even if 50% when they give federal government, you see as I say, wait till they do one or they do road. Because now, as they say so, everybody will contribute to this tax reform, they say they go the monitor. Any money where you cut like this, they'll say, like UK, that money, you don't pay tax. How you get them? Anything where you come in your pocket like this, you enter your account like this. But you know, for America, you don't be off for road though. If you off for road, they will catch you because it's against the law. Because if you off for road, you can't get profit. Nowhere to track, say you pay tax. That's why you must register your business before you sell anything, so that they can track your tax where they pay. Now, so they won't do one. Remember what video we had do last time? We had talked this year about 2 months ago. Oh, they talk about fuel, whatever. I talk and say after this fuel, now tax, okay? I talk about tax and tax will go. This is how they see. So they talk about state, individual level, even content creators. Now go pay. Now that one day on is so another topic where we say they won't do it progressively. They will start with like 7.5, go 15, 20, 25. They won't do them before you know they cost stabilizer, something like that. That one another topic. This one as far waiting they make not state, they vibrate. Now we talk for years, okay? Now after I look at this, I can't go check. You go see say for the northern state because John talk say this thing go make northern state poor. We will see. Kanu, Castina, say how many northern state there? So I pull out the first 15 because of space. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See? 80. For the 450 states by population. See, say the north, they lead. Now this one, they lead. For that population allocation, that percentage, they benefit them. Also, they will share that equal. That one, they benefit them. So the remaining one for revenue, they don't care. Because that one are just, how many percent again? Just 20% now, currently. They don't really care. This one favor them. You bring, you know, bring equal. This one, they will get more advantage because of population. See how so? For this one, no mean anything. That one has changed because the money where they allocate for derivation are 20%. Now when they come carry and go, equality where we say equal share 20%. That one has small money they open for that one now. The one where they go gain for that one go small. For population, has small money they go put for that one too. Now where they put the money and the derivation, that one they make the para. Let's continue. The source of this information now. NBS, Nigeria Bureau of Statistics. Okay, if you go check their website, okay, come look at the lowest contributors of revenue to federal. See, and that is lowest. The lowest is Imo, followed by Zafara, Abia, Kebbi, Bauchi, Cross River, Enugu, Ondo, Nasarawa, Ajigawa. Okay, they contribute small. So this new reform now, it go affect them. That's why he say, Zulu on the top here say, he said this will drag the north backward and also affect southeast, southwest, and some southwestern states like Oyo. Wait till I know the people where go affect past. Now all these states where we say currently, if they not sit tight, then they continue to contribute like this, they don't go benefit because now for you to benefit from the 60% per derivation, this one go affect them. That's why you talk say some eastern states like this. Almost all the eastern states for south, only Cross River. Southeast, 1, 2, 3. North, 1, 2. For the bottom, you check the other one, okay? Now, if you can't check the one we say that they contribute pass now, where they bring money to federal government pass, now Lagos. So this new reform will favor Lagos, it will favor Rivers, it will favor Oyo, it will favor FCT, it will favor Delta, it will favor Bayelsa, Kano, Akwa Ibom, Anambra to Edo, Ekiti, Borno, Kwara, Adamawa, and Plateau. Okay? See, so all this one that they contribute pass, it will favor them for this new formula. Now, this will favor them because the bump when they give to derivation now 60%. Okay? But on not even the inside, just that to check the 3 billion versus this 249 billion, 70 billion. You know what even as upon not put all this one for this calculation. This like this, that's what they call outliers because they don't go bring anything. They far away for you want to talk about how they share the money. You want know where I get this information on business day. Okay? Now let's digress a little. Our president, now like Papa, where they put medicine for person leg. They pay, that's why they put out. That is, if this a good reform, so me, I'm not tossing a good reform. If they not be good reform, now Papa, where they be picking, as a bit, you give you another one, what you talk so? First, fuel subsidy removal. As that one never finish, exchange rate unification, that one, dollar, electricity tariff, and tax reform bills. But still, country where they work, real country, all those who are with the LVN, now all this way they do so, now they do. The thing they say on the practical side, with the thought say Nigeria no day solid to bear this reform at the same time. But Baba no say, be like say Baba, if this time no day, if you no do this thing, nobody could do it. As you can see, and so I'm not sure say even Peter will try 1% of this thing. By this time, or Atiku, you know we will try because Atiku said not from the north, abi. So for me, Baba believe say now this one I go for this economy. Be like say all these children, una too lazy, una not too chop belly food. For first subsidy, all those who they pay subsidy for now, pay for subsidy. Now they buy 10 cars, 3 cars, 5 cars. Where you don't need them. Then how can they use our revenue to defend our foreign reserve? They subsidize the dollar exchange rate for waiting. That is out of irresponsibility. The next one might be electric tariff. I will say, they help you to pay your electric bill. Pay by yourself. By. Now, this one they shout so. Stay the shout for not to, but at individual level. After you don't pass and finish now individual will shout. I know what talk that one. Go and read it over yourself. No one at the talk and so when they do that fuel, whatever, fuel increment, of course the fuel will go down. You know that video. I talk for this. After that one, now tax will they go. So after this one, when we say stay the shout, so you will only pay tax. Be ready because the bit of say there is going to be every monitoring of your revenue. When you come to your account, why don't they pay tax? I want me Nigeria be like America. I want me Nigeria be like UK. I know what pay tax, you know go happen. But what thing I go talk be say the corruption. When we say one person go you collect 100 billion, you come out for people. When we say they pay tax, no go deal as when they reform tax. So one of the reform at corruption, where we say they will feel the J person, even give them by hanging to take people money because one thing for me say the citizens they say now they do anything with the money where they contribute. Now they chop them. Now they say now go arrest them. Now go put them for jail because they no pay tax. But somebody one person go carry the money chop them. They call give us soft laddie. That one no go deal. So there should also be at the corruption reform bill. Let me say as time they do. It depends the amount you steal. There are some say they go do it by firing whatever or by you know what they talk now. Otherwise you know go do like that too. Okay. Now what they talk now be say how you do me? 9 day book pass. Yesterday as you saw Zulu follow. What be Shetima position now? Two major political people, when we say the day of state, they talk against this thing like this, compare with other states, because all the other states, they know they vocal. Is it that support them or what? I don't know. Because if another VP now, okay, it's like another VP, what do you think? Drop in the comment section. Now, what do I think like President Tinubu be this? See, as I read that time, they talk, Nigerian Data Commission, no, why you come out? Baba no complain. He no care about friendship. Now, what he believe say, he better than they do. I don't believe say, he believe say this way they do no good. He believe say, he good for the country. Whether you be my friend though, we don't come out. For this one, they shout so, where they talk say, not vote for you, you got plenty vote for the North. It's not about who vote for me. Now, we take good for the country. Now they do. So with the thing we had to see for our Baba, I don't believe say, he no mean well for the country. Me, I believe say, he mean well. What did they do so? Now he believe say, he mean well. No say, one thing for you to say, now this thing I believe, but make the thing work. So this thing where I believe say, go work for the country, and I they do. But that's my friend, though, you vote for me, you don't vote for me, oh. We they drink together, you know, they influence me to do what I want to do. Because he said, all the thing where they do so, they bring more enemies, more opposition. He don't care. It's like he's a stubborn man. Where they do what he believes say, he good for the country. Whether we be friends or we not be friends, so you know, consign me. He goes, go see the knack the cane. Okay. Now, people who believe that these reforms are bad, they say he get disregard for public welfare. They thought say these are short-sighted decision making, whatever. They thought say he no dey flexible, he too dey rigid. Okay. They thought say he too dey over reliance on theory. That is IMF and the rest. Okay. They say he dey alienate key stakeholders. People will be say they suppose get man proof for your policy. You know they let the talk put according to Ijume, Zulum, and the rest say even people don't talk say he no good. Okay. All these things so it dey erode public trust for our president. Okay. And also they believe say they lead to economic mismanagement and weak political strategy, because now people will vote for you, they alienate them. Now, for the other group, where believe say if they do well for this reform, they say he's a visionary leader. Okay? No, say visionary leader. What did they see now? If you know see him, okay? His resilience in decision making. If he says now this one I want to do, stubborn to actualize it. Okay? Commitment to structural change. And structural change sometimes, you know, we'll feel good though. Courage, all that pressure, because too much pressure they come from all nuts. Are innocent. Believe in collective responsibility. Believe say, una want to sleep before they wait for money. You know what happen again? Una want to just misbehave with federal government allocation. You need to work now. If you work, you bring the money, you squander around. You know, you squander around. Nobody say another person work, you go squander around. That is collective responsibility. Also, collective contribution. Pay your tax, whatever. Okay? That is people who believe say, na good reform. Now, optimism about citizen adaptation. This type of person believe say, una go adapt. You know the adapt is? We adapt now. We don't adapt to fuel. We don't adapt to electricity. We don't adapt to the dollar, whatever. Nigerians have been adjust. So, person like this, who believe say, what they do, they're good. Or people when they look at something they do good, now wait till they believe, say, now go adjust. I believe they go adjust it. They go adjust. Okay? In mindset, they say, no friend in business of governance. One thing where I believe say, if this policy are good, when this government know they do, now the lack of educating and convincing people. I don't know why so many people were low point. They don't sabi communicate their policy to the people. They don't sabi break them down well. Nobody say I need that job. I know they inside. I don't tell say if they good, okay? Because for me, this particular one where they do so, I like them. I like this one about this sharing ratio. Okay, so I want to ask you, what you believe say these reforms are good, or you did this class where we say you believe say they are bad? Drop your comment. Don't forget to like, share, and follow. Thank you.
And 70,000 naira, you will not have to pay tax. if you earn up to about 100 million, all these big people, you know, in our society, then you have to pay up to about 25%, as is done in other jurisdictions, particularly the United States. That's one. So in other words, the reform is to help the poor. Number two, one of the four bills is saying that another look will be taken at the, the VAT distribution arrangement. The federal government used to get 15%. They are proposing the federal government should get 10%. States should get 35%. No, states should get an additional 5%, and then local governments should get 35%. Another thing is that every state should earn, in terms of VAT collection, according to the consumption of its people. That is the equity that Oyedele was talking about. In other words, sales tax is what states can collect. Sales tax, not import tax, not other taxes that are due to the federal government. In other words, this is about reform coming from a government and administration that says it is reform-minded. The ethnic angle that people have put into it, the territorial angle that people have put into it, is where the controversy comes from. And the sum of the presentation by Zach Adeliji and Taiwo Oyedele is that this is a tax reform that will help Nigerians. Now, I think it's important that the Senate, the National Assembly, takes a look at these reforms, but to take a position that they are resistant to change and that you cannot change the tax situation in Nigeria is, inadvisable. And they should not play politics with tax. Taxation and tax administration haven't been a major problem in this country, even since colonial times.
Okay, so the truth is there were about 4 bills. Barring anything, the Senate will pass that tax bill, and it's as good as a done deal. Because yesterday, after all the Order 12 rule book scenario that Ali Ndume and Nengi tried to do to be able to disrupt the people coming in, and it was because the likes of Taiwo Oyedele and Zacchaeus Adeliji and the likes were coming in to the place to come and make clarification and explanation, and that's why they put that forward. So once, kudos to Bamdele, MOB, and other senators out there that stood their ground, and also Jibrin Barao, that stood his ground, because you see, you cannot have an argument in the Senate and real dramatis personae in that argument are not made to come and enunciate their views. It is only fair to hear all sides. So I didn't support that drama by Ndume yesterday. Yes, I know what he's talking about, the rule book. But for us to be able to get clarity as regards the tax matters, you should be able to allow the likes of them Oyedele to be able to come into the hall, and they will be grilled, and they'll be able to make their presentation. And maybe like he knew that their presentation was going to sway people yesterday, that's why he was, saying all of that to try to block it, but it was overruled by Barao. And their presentation did sway a lot of people yesterday. And that's what has happened as regards this tax, law. The 4 bills there are very clear. What are some of the components of this bill? It's going to deal a lot with corporate taxing. Yes, 15% will be taxed for profits, for corporations, but also this tax rule is very sensitive enough to understand that business make losses. So all the minimum tax threshold that businesses are ought to pay when they make losses will not be paid. And which is a welcome development, because we keep talking about the fact that government doesn't provide for a lot for businesses. And when they have problems, even in their losses, you are haggling them with all sorts of taxes. And that's a welcome development. Secondly, he talked about the fact that the tax is one for the poor. And it was empirical in his fact. He said those that earn about 1 million threshold, which is one of the highest in Africa, will not pay taxes. So those that earn cumulatively 800,000 naira a year, plus an extra 200,000 they pay for rent, will not pay, that income tax threshold. But obviously, those that earn higher will be able to pay higher on the income tax threshold. But my grouse has always been, hope all what we collect in these taxes, we use it to subsidize life for the poor. Because that's the way it works in other countries. But in this country, the rich gets richer, they don't even pay taxes. I think the very first person that tried to have conversations about taxation in recent time was the former Minister of Finance, when the one that was, Kemi Adeosun, and she made a very startling revelation that says not up to, in a country where they say a lot of billionaires, not up to 100 people pay over 20 million naira income taxes in this country. And it was a big revelation when they made that revelation there. And we see a lot of private jets here and there and all of that. This was the same country that a leader once said, oh, the fact that the country is growing was because there was a lot of private jets owned by Nigerians somewhere. But the truth has to be said, people were not paying their fair share in taxes. So that point now has been clarified. Also, it goes further to talk about the VAT, which is a contentious, and I get the argument from most parts, a certain part of this country, because we have not seen a great production and consumption threshold from that part. This is the same part where we hear that some religious police destroy a lot of alcohol. And alcohol presents about 2% to the VAT, and you destroy that. So if you do not consume effectively, you cannot get your equitable share for not consuming in the tax system. So it's only clear and clear. I even think, and kudos to Taiwo Edele on it, I might disagree with him on another thing. I even think to a large extent, this will spur a great deal of consumption. So governors in these states that are not meeting the threshold of consumption will buckle up and be able to ensure they create consumption. And how can they do it easily? Tourism potential. There are many tourism potentials in the north that have not been tapped into. I mean, I don't know why today around the Mambela Plateau area, cable cars have not been built. They can't build resort hills and mountains around the Mambela area. That will be able to bring in a lot of influx of people, and it will bring about tourism potential. Look at the Yankari Games reserves. Look at other natural resources. So it's about spurring productivity in this area. And most importantly, he talked about harmonization of creation of new tax offices and all of that, and harmonization of the hitherto existing bills. I think for further reading, a lot of Nigerians will also go and study the bill even better. But barring any last-minute changes, it's going to go through in the Senate. And this is another win for President Tinubu. And in terms of consultation, give it to Taiwo Oyedele. He made his wide consultation. People were represented on this body. He's been at this since his administration started. And let us only see. See, any tax bill obviously will be up for reviews. If people have other considerations, they should be able to itemize this consideration and put in the review when it finally pushes on. I rest my case this morning.
Hello, everyone. Greetings. Good morning to everybody. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I mean, looking at from what has been presented and from what I have seen, it does seem like, it does look like, I don't know, it does look like something that, is needed, right? This tax reform is definitely needed because a few states have been carrying, a number of states have been carrying the whole country to the detriment of the citizens of those same states, right? To the detriment of the citizens that are carrying the entire country, So I think it's fair. I mean, I think it's fair. It's still an ongoing conversation. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I mean, if you have any thoughts, please drop it for me in the comment section. Okay. I just wanted to bring this breakdown here because I've been doing my own research and trying to understand it. So I came upon these videos and I wanted to share them with you. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye.